We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have...
United Nations Ambassador Mike Waltz is thanking rapper Nicki Minaj for her support as President Trump opens the door for sanctions to be imposed on Nigeria.
And I saw Nicki Minaj. Yes, that Nicki Minaj. Let me move up my mic because I gotta read this too.
Where are the protests, the rallies, the march, the chants, the songs, the fundraising?
Let me move up my mic because I gotta read this to you. It says, reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. Numerous countries all around the world are being affected by this horror, and it's dangerous to pretend we don't notice. This is the part that blew my mind. Thank you to the president and his team.
Where is the outrage? Where are the protests?
So what's going on in Nigeria right now? I'm glad it's finally getting some light.
Trump is threatening to go to war on Nigeria.
Where are the protests, the rallies, the march, the chants, the songs, the fundraisers for the...
Like, a little bit of light is being shined upon it. The fact that Trump is talking about this, it's just amazing, you know, because this has been going on for a very long time.
Over 8 million displaced, 24 million starved, 6 million battling severe malnutrition.
You know, I'm Nigerian. I've been in America since I was like 16 years old, so I've accumulated to the American culture. So I'm now, you know, I got my citizenship and everything else. So ICE, chill out.
So let's read what Trump said. He says Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter.
I'm a legal American citizen, but of course, my parents are Nigerian. They were born in Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria. My son was born here.
The president said, quote, if the Nigerian government continues to allow the killings of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now, quote, disgraced country, guns a-blazing.
Where is the attention for the million of lives?
Says he is then hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action.
My daughter was born here, so you can see how the generations change, right? So definitely, I've not been so involved in what is going on in America because in Nigeria, you know, let me correct myself real quick. Just because I'm not there, you know, out of sight, out of mind.
Where is the march for the women and girls getting sexually assaulted every single day? Where are the songs? The chants?
To put this country as a country of particular concern, saying something must be done. He's now asking Congressman Riley Moore, Chairman Tom Cole, and the House Appropriations Committee to look into it and to report back.
Something of that nature. But the only thing I could possibly do while being in America is bring lights to what is going on in Nigeria. And who else could shine a brighter light on it than President Donald Trump? Like, I don't know if you have WhatsApp. I'm not sure. A lot of Americans don't use WhatsApp. A lot of people who tend to use WhatsApp seem to be people from foreign countries just because they have loved ones back home, and through WhatsApp we could communicate without having to pay any extra fee. You know, back in the days you have to go buy calling cards and everything else. But thanks to WhatsApp, you could communicate with your loved ones in any part of the world, you know, relatively free. And, you know, you can check status. It's almost like a social media platform right now. You know, people are updating their status and things of that nature. But I have groups that people have put me in, not because I asked to be in those groups. And what are being shared in those groups, I'm telling you, they're gruesome. I cannot even watch or stomach some of the images that are being shared. Like, I'm talking about the killings, the butchering.
Nigerian government came out openly and denied there's no massacre, there's no genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And look at it today.
A lot of it is so inhumane that you just don't want to watch it. You don't want to even see it. Just because, you know, you got to be careful what you absorb, you know. Not just only with your mouth, you know, with your eyes also. With your ears also. You can't listen to everything. You know, you can't watch everything. Because when you watch it, it's in your conscience. It's just like in your mind. You could always reflect back on those images. And some of them may not be good for humans because, yeah, seeing somebody decapitated and legs and limbs chopped off, I don't think we're meant to see pictures like that.
I think this is going to make a huge difference, and we're going to get right to work on this and get to the bottom of what's happening and give President Trump a full menu of options that we can use to try to stop these killings.
It's like that, or images like that. And people are consuming this and going to watch people being buried with decapitated body parts. It's ridiculous. It's been going on for decades. I'm talking about more than 10 years now, you know. Religious persecution. You know, Nigeria, it's like a 50-50 country. I'm a Christian, you know. I have cousins who are Muslims. we are like the same, like we are family, but it's just Nigeria is influenced by both the Christians and the Muslims. So you have some Nigerians who are Christians and you have Nigerians who are Muslims, and they look just alike. It just depends on what family you came from.
But when I looked at this and I saw Niki Minaj, yes, that Niki Minaj. Let me move up my mic because I gotta read this to you. It says, reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude.
The Nigerian government vowed today to keep fighting violent extremism and said it hoped Washington would remain a close ally. But some analysts blame the country's inability to protect its citizens over that wide spectrum of armed groups that operate across the country, including...
So... And then you have marriages between the Christians and the Muslims. It happens, even though, of course, it doesn't happen every day, but it happens. And a lot of it is so inhumane that you just don't want to watch it. You don't want to even see it. Just because, you got to be careful what you absorb, Not just only with your mouth, with your eyes also. With your ears also. You can't listen to everything. You can't watch everything. Because when you watch it, it's in your conscience. It's just like in your mind. You could always reflect back on those images. And some of them may not be good for humans because... yeah, seeing somebody decapitated and legs and limbs chopped off, I don't think we're meant to see pictures like that or images like that.
They are being killed. By who? By Muslims!
And people are consuming this and going to watch people being buried with decapitated body parts. It's ridiculous. It's been going on for decades. I'm talking about more than 10 years now, religious persecution. Nigeria, it's like a 50-50 country. I'm a Christian, I have cousins who are Muslims. We are like the same, like we are family, but it's just Nigeria is influenced by both the Christians and the Muslims. So you have some Nigerians who are Christians and you have Nigerians who are Muslims, and they look just alike. It just depends on what family you came from, So, and then you have marriages between the Christians and the Muslims. It happens, even though, of course, it doesn't happen every day, but it happens and it's okay. But I don't know what it is with Islam, or maybe it's just the radical Islamist people or their thinking. I've seen some Muslims who are really calm. They're not trying to take over or make you believe in Allah or whatever, or believe in God the same way they believe it. At the end of the day, I feel like the reason why we all turn to the Bible or turn to some form of faith or worship is to help us be a better person, make better decisions, help us control our thoughts and be well grounded. Your definition of God and another person's definition of God, sometimes they're called different names, and just the confusion of people calling their gods different names. Number one, those who don't understand will obviously say you're worshiping idols, of course, and those who do understand will be like, well, at least you believe in a higher being, the one, the source, whatever you want to call it, God. So many ways people could identify to a higher power, but the fact that a sect of human beings feel like they could force their belief on others, no, this is 2025. Now we are done with that BS. That's bullshit. No. If I could do something about it, definitely I would. Like, when you see some of this video, you can't help but go over there and be like, you know what? These people who are, seem to be assaulting, killing, intimidating, oppressing others who look like them, you just want to do the same thing back to them. That's what it feels like. So when Trump is talking about if Nigeria don't get their shit in order, yeah, he's gonna talk to the Department of War to definitely take a look at what is going on in that part of the world. And it's a good thing. I think it's a great thing. And Niki Minaj actually was thanking Trump for his post, which I think a lot of liberals are kind of confused about. They're like, how could Niki Minaj be thanking President Trump? She's supposed to be a Democrat. I don't know what her political affiliate is or what her political party she identifies as. But Niki Minaj, it's just another one of rappers or black people who has thanked Trump, who has seen the good in what Trump is doing. Like, if we go back to the days from the Mike Tyson to other rappers who have mentioned Trump in their music, Niki Minaj is not actually mentioning him in her music right now. She's actually thanking him for his actions. When you see people say Black Lives Matter, the name, it sounded good. Of course, a lot of people did not agree with it. When I first heard Black Lives Matter, I was just like, okay. The first time I heard the saying, I'm a black person, I was like, okay, when you say Black Lives Matter, in my mind I was thinking all lives matter. But when you say Black Lives Matter, yeah, it sounds good. But in my head, I'm like, how would the other races feel if you're just singling black lives to say Black Lives Matter? And of course, you have Kanye West wearing White Lives Matter. You have the entire uproar in the society and the divide just because some people don't agree with the phrase Black Lives Matter or whatever. And everybody had a point, This is not a discussion about that. This is what this is really about. People are saying Black Lives Matter. Is it only the black lives in America that matters, like children of slavery? Or no, which black lives are you talking about? Are you talking about black lives all over the world, or are you just talking about a certain group of black people? You know, of course, Black Lives Matter didn't play out well. It seemed like it was more of a cash grab for people who were at the head of that movement. It was a chance for them to make money, and they did. Did the money go towards black people? Of course not. You know, it's just another group of people preying on the turmoil or the things that is oppressing the black community, or the struggles of black people. People are preying on that. It's kind of like back in the days, you would see how this, CNN and, all these people who are saying they're giving aids to Africa, they would show the sick kids, flies patching on people, and you would think the money is going back to the people that they're raising it for, but no, it really never gets to them, So it's ridiculous that Trump is talking about this. It's not ridiculous, it's a great thing. What is ridiculous is the fact that some people are looking at Nicki Minaj and they're reacting like, no, you should not thank Trump for anything. No, you should not even mention Trump out of your mouth. You should not give that man any praise or any kind of accolades for what he's doing. It's kind of funny because if Trump saved 1 million people, they would actually say it's a bad thing because Trump was the one who did it. I feel like it's at that point, So Trump being the person that he is, of course, he doesn't care what you're saying. He speaks his mind, and he spoke. And when Trump speaks, it's very loud. People listen all over the world. All over the world, they listen. And yeah, you may not like the fact that the man is as powerful to get people and leaders from other countries to behave better or treat their citizens better. You may feel like, nah, who is he to do it? If he does not do it, who is going to do it? Is he Putin? Is he the Chinese president? So far, nobody has stepped up to the plate to try to do something about it. But if anything, a lot of the leaders are all about themselves and what they could gain out of the turmoil that is going on in other parts of the world. It's like, you'll be surprised, every time there's a conflict in a different part of the world, somebody is making a killing and making a lot of money from that turmoil. And it's usually Western countries, Arabian countries, So, Trump talking about this, being the president that he's shown he could be, especially after the peace deal between Israel and Palestine. Of course, liberals still did not want to give him thanks for that. Even though a few of them spoke, like Kamala Harris, she did thank him and say, yeah, Trump did do a good thing to be able to create some form of peace in that part of the world. Yeah, but I just feel like it's great. It's great that Trump is talking about this and people are listening. They say, like, they're going to come with bullet blazing, and, Trump will do what he says. Look at what happened with Iran. People try to say it was a war. It was not a war. They came and did what they thought was a threat to that part of the world, eliminated the threat, and that was a done deal. And trust me, if Trump decides to go into Nigeria, within 24 hours, within 48 hours, let me just give it a little bit more time, that threat will be eliminated. Okay, those people would be wiped out, the ones who are trying to oppress the Christians. Because at the end of the day, he's not saying, no, Muslims. No, he's just saying, dude, stop oppressing people. You could be a Muslim, okay? That's cool, right? That's fine. That's what you chose. That's what you believe in. That's fine. Keep that to yourself and believe in your faith. But don't push that into somebody else. If you want to tell them about Allah, that's great. And let them hear the information and move on. If they decide to change faith, that is a decision they decide to make by themselves, not because you oppress them or force them at gunpoint. Like, this is crazy. It's ridiculous. And thanks to Donald Trump, of course, everybody, a lot of people don't like it when black people are thanking Trump. They go crazy over that, And yeah, I'm going to speak truth to where truth needs to be spoken in. And in this situation, I'm actually happy that Trump is speaking out and he's threatened. It is a threat, definitely. Get your shit together. That's what he's saying to Nigeria. And if Nigeria cannot fix it, then the Department of War, the Department of Defense, now called the Department of War, would intervene and put a stop to the killings and the mutilation of Christians. It's a good thing, okay? Because talking, all the talking that is being done about this matter has not solved anything. This is not the first time we've heard about what is going on in Africa. A lot of Africans know about this. They're here in America working, going on, clocking in 9 to 5. Grinding, trying to get money for themselves and then send a lot of their money back home, but that is still not making a difference. Their family members are getting bombed and killed and being persecuted for their faith. There's nothing these people here could do about it but to try to make some money and hopefully send it to them, and hopefully they could, feed themselves and feed others. So Trump doing something about this, it's a good thing. Africa needs aid. Nigeria needs aid, okay? So I know people keep saying, Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine. No, free Africa, free Nigeria, free the Congo, free these part of the world that nobody's shining light upon. Okay, a lot of people seem to be about Israel, which is good. I'm happy about that. But a lot of what is going on in Africa, it's worse than what is going on in Israel. But the whole world know about Israel and Palestine, and I don't know if it's because a lot of people that occupy those areas are Caucasians, and then a lot of the people who occupy Africa are blacks. I don't know if that's the reason. I'm not saying that's the reason, but we can't help but to think about it in that direction, you know? So Trump, I'm glad you're speaking out and standing up for black people. So when you say Black Lives Matter, right? Trump speaking out means he cares about black people. So to him, black lives do matter. Because Obama, when Obama was the president, this thing was already going on. Obama is a black man. I mean, I like Obama as a president, but I'm just saying, okay? Democrats and Republicans, Democrats have this whole Black Lives Matter stuff. You would think they care more about black people, right? It's not about what people say, it's about what they do. Action speaks louder than words. You could say Black Lives Matter, oh, Black Lives Matter, DEI, oh, you gotta, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's good. If Black Lives Matter, it shouldn't just be the black people in America, it should be the black people, the entire black diaspora all over the globe, especially in countries where they're being persecuted and executed for their fate. Not because of what they did, just because they decided to believe in God. Like, you don't see Christians going and killing Muslims. You know, like, not in Nigeria, that is not happening. Because Christians in Nigeria, like, I don't know what it is about African countries and how much they hold, like, they really believe in God, even more than the Western countries that brought the faith to them. You know, like, I'm Nigerian. I remember how we used to go to church and be there for hours and then come back in the evening and then you are praying and fasting. You know, it's just like it was taken really seriously. People would give their last income as tithes as an offering because they feel like it's going to save them. They really do believe in God, you know, even though the idea of Christ is a white Jesus Christ. Which some people, that is another, you know, argument for another day. But when I say they really hold their faith, they're really close to their faith, and they really believe they're close to God, and they believe in Christianity, and they feel like God will save them, you know. But so far, nothing has come to their aid. So Trump speaking out, you know, I feel like when God is gonna do things in the world, a lot of times he doesn't like send some kind of supernatural being to just appear. He uses us, human beings, because we're all a reflection of the one. You know, we're just, I do believe that. You know, we're all a reflection of the one, and we're all like parts of the one, you know, and he uses us to do his deeds, you know. He may elevate others, suppress others. We're not going to get into that, but I feel like when God operates, if you do believe in God, he uses humans to do what he needs to do, okay? So the fact that Trump is speaking out about Nigeria and telling them to stop the killing, the religious killing and the religious execution and persecution, that may just be God using him to do what he wants done and to stop the oppression of Christians in that part of the world. Anyhow, though, thanks for watching this video. Share it if you want. And yeah, you should share it, because especially if you're African or a black person for that matter, or anybody, it doesn't matter. But I just feel like if you're African, like, these are your people. These are your people. So I don't care if it's not, I don't care if you're not from Nigeria or whatever, but these are still your people, okay? And to Muslims all over the world, this is not to speak out against Islam. This is to speak out against Islamic extremists, because they are extremists. Like, you could believe in Allah. It's good. That's you. Don't force it on somebody else. You want to talk about Allah and preach it, that's good. Have a debate. Great. But not because you're forcing your religion on them and you have a gun and you're beating them and kicking them around. If they don't believe in God, you're gonna, and your God, you're going to kill them. Okay, no. That is taking it to the extreme. That is why they're called religious extremists. Okay, and if you feel like somebody needs to be killed because they don't believe in God the way you do, you qualify as a religious extremist. Thanks for watching this video. Share it if you want. Respect.
Together we can make it better. We gotta learn to take a fall together. You gotta learn to fall before we fall. Create all this, appreciate all this, shade on rich. Take that shit, Now who tell me say you know the air? Listen close, you don't the near. Okay, you know the fear. Life sweet, love in the taste. Looking so bright, I shine in the face. Getting a cutting and stacking my pay. Cutting and slicing and having my kid. Create all this, appreciate all this, shade on rich.
Yeah,
take that shit.
It's F1 all day, it's F-dub all night. I'm like a light that shines bright and I can blind you with sight. Never seen but seldom heard, I'm on the brick stacking chip. Forever on the scene, I'm in the stick stacking grip. On the top, looking down from which I came from the ground. Up to the top, look at me now, I got the sound to sound up. It's around on the block, it goes around like a clock. I'm on the pound, on the rock, I'm off the ground, I'm off the block. I keep it coming, now I stop. Like a watch or a clock, I don't stop. On the rock, I rock and roll off the clock.
Create all this, appreciate all this, shade on rich. Take that shit, Now who tell me say you know the air? Listen close, you don't the near. Okay, you know the fear. Create all this, appreciate all this, shade on rich. Take that shit, right on now than later. Right everything that I need. I'm already know who my leader. Look at me, the flows get neater. I'm sweet, I'm loving the taste. I'm loving so bright, I shine in the face. I'm getting my cooks, I'm stacking my pay. Cuts and slicing, I'm having my cake.
On the top, looking down from which I came to ground. Up to the top, look at me now, I got the sound to sound up. It's around on the block, it goes around like a clock. I'm on the pound, on the rock, I'm off the ground, I'm off the block. I keep it coming non-stop, like a watch or a clock. I don't stop on the rock, I rock and roll off the clock. Yeah, rockin', roll off the clock. It don't stop like a clock, I rock and roll off the clock.
Hey, create all this, appreciate all this, shade on rich. Take that shit, create all this, appreciate all this, shade on rich. Take that shit, create all this, appreciate all this, shade on rich. Take that shit, Now who tell me say you know the air? Listen close, you don't the near. Okay, you know create all this, appreciate all this, shade on rich. Take that shit, Now who tell me say you know the air? Listen close, you don't the near. Okay, you know the fear.
Every day I'm on the grind. Our brothers in the pen doing time. It's about a matter of time before we shine. Rather trying to grind and getting mine. Leaving all that negative vibes all behind. Together we can make it better. We gotta learn to take a fall together. You gotta learn to fall before we fall.
Create all this, appreciate all this, shade on rich. Take that shit, Now who tell me say you know the air? Listen close, you don't the near. Okay, you know the fear.